Hello, my name is Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And today we are concluding our fortnight of Hitchcock with 1960s Psycho.
Good afternoon. Here we have a quiet little motel, tucked away off the main highway, and as you see, perfectly harmless looking, when in fact, it has now become known as the scene of the crime.
The story of, well, we think it's the story of Marion Crane, but she gets offed, and we then learn more and more about Norman Bates and his mother, Norma. Will, do you remember your first time seeing Psycho?
It was recently. It was probably the summer before I went to uni. As a lot of films were, really. Because I thought I might meet someone that's really into films at uni, like yourself, and feel left out, so I need to ramp up my knowledge.
Oh, right.
But it's very, very good. I think I watched it. It must have been on telly, because I haven't got a DVD. So it's not on telly often.
Beautiful masterpiece collection.
Which is, if I may say so, a little more sinister looking, less innocent than the motel itself. And in this house, the most dire, horrible events took place. I think we can go inside because the place is up for sale, although I don't know who's going to buy it now. In that window on the second floor, the single one in front, that's where the woman was first seen. Let's go inside.
I suspect.
I asked this, Will, because I remember the first time I watched Psycho. The year, well, I can't remember the year. I was in my old house. I can still smell the fresh paint. The china had never been used. They said the Titanic was the ship of dreams, and it was. Dun, 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 dun. Well, Titanic's a different episode. So I was startlingly young. My Uncle Robert did a DVD copy of it, and it was Halloween time, and we were doing the pumpkins. And my mum's thing with horrors for letting me watch horrors was we'd watch them in the day, because apparently that makes it better. Well, it makes it easier for a child. Film finished, obviously, and it was dark. It was great watching it and carving the pumpkins. It was very good. And then that night, again, I was very, very young. You never saw my old house, but our top floor layout was exactly the same as the Bates house, with the banister and the hallway, and the toilet was at the top of the stairs. So I just couldn't do it. So I went, Mom, 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 and then Dad's giving it quietly. Seth, I told you you should watch it. So he comes out, he comes in, and he goes, you're all right, you go to the toilet. So then my dad goes down to the toilet that we have downstairs, because he just took it as an opportunity to travel away. So I'm stood weeing, facing the toilet. My mum feels bad. So she comes, don't hear her, taps me on the shoulder. I'm sorry, Lou. Ah! I was thinking she was Norma Bates. Then I scream, then she screams, then my dad pops out from toilet downstairs. What's happening? And then Isabel wakes up, who was only 4 at the time or something. Everybody's screaming. It's great. Great time. Opening line Hall of Fame. It's very rude. You never did eat your lunch, did you? Wonder why.
Hitchcock.
What if they were eating lunch? Here's some YouTube comments. So that is where the sound effect comes from.
Thanks.
It is one of those where I think, you know, if you were on Pointless, it'd get at least 95. If you played that sound, you'd know it's Psycho.
Yeah.
Don't really trust this person. We all go a little mad sometimes. So true. And then that emoji. Condoning multiple murders. They should definitely do a 60th anniversary in 2020 with this shown in theatres across the states. Theatres would be super packed. Well, they are inadvertently doing this. As we mentioned in last week's episode, Psycho is one of the films that they're trialing reopening theatres with. Definitely a cult classic. I don't think that's true at all. I think it's just a full-blown classic. I think it's very, very popular. And then Norman Bates has commented 6 years ago. I remember this well. So does Mother. So somebody's funny, aren't they?
Oh, that's...
Somebody's trying... Oh, I'm going to say... Somebody's trying to even be funnier. Marion Crane updated her Facebook status. Being stabbed in the shower, lol. This was 7 years ago. So, like, was Facebook really big then? Was that the peak of Facebook?
Yeah.
I think I was joining it at 13, actually.
13? I was 2014, I think. So you win.
Yes. Being dragged to the morgue. LMAO. Swag. YOLO. I don't even understand what this... I mean, I'm not an old man. I do understand what all of those things are. Yeah, so the YouTube comments really trying to be funny this week. And they didn't succeed. Will, your
Hello.
10-minute stretches. What do you think is the best 10-minute stretch in this film?
Oh, this is very... it's going to have to be the reveal, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good long stretches, but I think if you're thinking about what he does best, which is suspense and that build up of tension to that sudden reveal,
the Vera Lila Loomis coming to the house is a stunning sequence. You do one of my changes now. Is that indentation in the bed a bit deep? I know that she's always there.
Yeah.
But she's not always there because he sometimes puts her in the window and he hides her in the basement. I don't know if that is a proper indentation. Alas. Yeah. Have you got any other nominations for best 10-minute stretch?
You've got the car journey to the motel, and like she thinks she starts seeing people that are looking suspicious. That's a good one.
I like Marion at the motel. I like that. So my favourite scene in the whole film is the conversation in the back of the parlour between Marion and Norman. I just think that's one of, if we're talking about the sheer script beauty, I think that's actually one of the most underrated composed and written scenes of all time. I think that needs to be in the conversation when it comes to, I adore Inglourious Bastards, but people, come on, give a bit of credit to Psycho. The opening of Inglourious Bastards obviously needs its due, and it gets it. But that scene with Marion and Norman lays out everything. There's some incredible lines. You've got Norman snapping and building.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I also like, and I don't know why, the cleanup of Marion's death. I don't know what it is. It's rather hallucinating to me. It's in that weird vertigo, languid, slightly slow. Just find it yeah.
Well, yeah, the slow zoom into the eye.
Well, that's
quite...
that's
right. We'll talk. I'm sure we'll get to that.
That's
yeah.
astounding. Yeah, well, I think we're going to talk about it now. Tom's weirdly specific favourite parts of the film.
Yeah.
It's the credits again. These incredible Bernard Herrmann. And also
lines.
Yeah, if we're talking just music, obviously the is incredible and iconic, but I much prefer the great. And also there's a lovely little theme later, the sort of slower thing, just a very melancholic, beautifully sets the scene.
It's one of the first pieces I learned on the piano, the Psycho theme. I thought,
Is that
let's
true?
be yeah, let's be edgy. Then I used it in GCSE music composition.
Oh, what for?
I got told off. Dracula again. I just threw everything into that Dracula
you
piece.
lied. So it was supposed to be your own composition.
Yes.
William.
This was luckily it wasn't assessed. It was one of the first introductory activities. But I got called out. That's not your own song, is it? Like, no, it's Psych.
I wish I should have got a memory stick or something and got my GCSE music compositions, because they were mental. It was like Brian Eno on acid. Like, we called one of them Cathedral because me and my music teacher, Mr. Wells, joked that this is what crazy snipers hear when they go to the top of a cathedral to kill a bunch of people in a random town. Because
I wrote not Peripety, that's an existing. I wrote like a strange, absurd, and then I did a full-on like 20 instrument orchestral symphony that lasted about 5 minutes. Yeah,
this was another problem, was that they were all 10-minute full.
Yeah,
like, but different. Like, it was like Queen innuendo. Like, no, you were building into building, and and then suddenly a big. It really picked up then. At the end, the crosswalk, beautifully homage in Pulp Fiction. Just a great little moment with the boss.
Is he outside the studios, or is it just a? It
looks fake.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rear screen projection.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's better in Pulp Fiction though, because he actually runs him over.
I was going to ask this. Yeah. that is what it's missing. You mother. Great stuff.
Bruce Willis is the best part of that film. That's his best performance.
He simultaneously is. I'm so caught with
his girlfriend is.
There we go.
Abysmal.
This is.
Is that what we agree on? There we go.
This is my biggest problem with Pulp Fiction. I think the Gold Watch is my favourite segment, but blueberry pancakes. I want blueberry. Will you perform our sex on me? Blueberry pancakes. Can't sticker. And then I just put it in the bag. It was on the kangaroo. Yes. And so, because of her, then my favourite segment is probably Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife.
Does she look like a bitch?
Because that has that incredible. It has a lot. It spans a lot.
That is a tasty burger. I can endlessly quote that.
A cornerstone of any nutritious diet. Look at the big beans on bread. I'm sorry. Did I affect your dinner? Well, allow me to retort.
Someone parodied it. Because he plays Frozone as well in The Incredibles.
Oh, that is one of my favourite videos.
It's like, what? Say what again? It's great.
I love the first time we've seen the Bates Motel sign Through the Rain. I love the first mother, the introduction to the mother when Marion. Oh, don't let that whore into my house, no man.
Yeah, that's great.
And then she's like, I think I've put you into some trouble. What do you think? I don't know how to phrase that this is one of my favourite parts. I love the peephole scene. I think it's a really creepy and well done moment. Where did I lose you?
From the beginning of that sentence.
Okay. I don't know how to put this, but one of my favourite parts is the peephole scene. I think it's really creepily done.
Oh, that's in my list, yeah.
That's our first reveal that Norman's not who he is. I mean, it's not a first reveal because unfortunately, this is one of those movies where I knew everything anyway. I think actually, I tell a lie. I am lucky enough to watch it as a small child before just pop culture and just. I think if I asked my sister, who knows nothing about films and has never seen Psycho and wouldn't dare to watch Psycho because it's black and white and old, if she to outline the plot to me, she could at least, I think, do. There's a guy who kills people in a motel and he dresses up like his mother. I think like you can, and also the shower scene is so iconic and is discussed so frequently that there's no way you can avoid the fact that Marion dies, which of course is a very shocking moment if you're sat in 1960 and you're like, oh, the girl from Bye Bye Birdie. Not the girl from Bye Bye Birdie, she was in Bye Bye Birdie after Janet Leigh. Yeah, the eye in the drain of the shower scene, that is my favourite moment, is the eye into the drain. Well, no, rather the drain into the eye. Just a great match. I know. When did I lose you again?
You're off for a bit then.
Yeah. It's on as normal. The Wi-Fi's on as normal. It's in my room now. The booster is in my room.
I'm in the room with the best Wi-Fi in the house as well.
Well, fine now.
Maybe if we just keep talking.
This is very odd. My favourite part. Every time you're vaguely still, I start talking.
I'll sit.
Doing this.
I'll sit copy.
I
don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know where my head. My favourite part of the shower scene is the drain into the eye.
That's
without a shadow of a doubt.
Slow zoom in, and you could just help. It's harrowing.
It's horrible. Tar pit into the car. I just find that very satisfying, and I don't know why. The car disappearing into the tar pit. I don't know what it is. And then it stops. He's like,
yeah.
And it goes, and very soon. The introduction of Martin Balsam when he nearly walks into the camera. I like that a lot. The flick of the sign, turning it on when Norman is with Marty Balsam, and he's just like, oh, we gotta flick the light on. And it's just that once. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh no, you weren't. Wait.
No, I was just. Oh, I got you. Oh, now you're doing it. That's a good one.
Did you hear my breathe?
I did. Yours was more convincing than mine.
Thank you. I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was a good point.
There was a slight moment where I thought, oh no, he actually has gone. But I can't weaken my mind. Oh, there we go.
No, I moved too much again.
Oh.
And then finally the skull superimposed onto Norman's face. For just a.
Yeah.
And that started a myth actually that didn't actually exist because only half of it was a late edition. So in 1960, only half of the prints had it. So it did start an urban myth for a while, because obviously in 1960 nobody thought that you'd see these movies again. I just can't imagine that. Like being in like 1960 and thinking, oh, that was great. Maybe they'll put it on TV once in 5 years. I just can't imagine not having. Oh, I'll just watch Postcards from the Edge now. Anyway, Will's more general favourite part of the film.
Well, linking back to that, I think that the whole final shot of Norman just sat there.
Yeah, that's my.
And then when he's is that your minute? Yeah, when he his eyes just look up, and that's good acting. That's very good acting.
Underrated performance. I mean, it's not. It's simultaneously not an underrated performance, because everybody who talks about the film talks about how incredible it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it gets the credit it deserves. As you know, it's never in any conversations of best performance of the '60s or something. Myself included. I was asked to do some recommendations, and that's a fun game. We'll do that now. I was asked to do some recommendations of best performances ever, and I split it by decade. And basically, every decade, I gave myself, I think it was 3 options. I gave myself 3 options, and then I gave myself some cheats. And I did male and female. So let's see.
Oh,
Guess them. Here it is. Here we go. Best male performance. So we started in the 50s. Well, no, we technically started in the 40s. But I only had one. I did Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca. So 50s. Your clue is we've just talked about one of them.
Oh, it'll be. Oh, but is it your favourite? So it's either Vertigo or North by Northwest.
It's James Stewart and Vertigo.
Okay.
Your clue, next 50s one, is the seminal performance of the theatre stage of the 50s and then translated to film.
It will be Gene Kelly.
Marlon Brando, Street Gun Design.
Oh, Singing in the Rain.
and then the final one for the 50s was your clue is La La Land First Date.
Oh, Rebel Without a Cause.
James Dean. 60s. You've got. I'll just go through them. It'll be easy. You're not going to guess them all.
I might do.
Okay, fine then. 60s. I'll give you the actor. You give me the film. 60s. Dustin Hoffman.
Graduate.
60s. Jack Lemmon.
Some Like It Hot.
That's
50s.
The Apartment.
Oh, that's 50s.
We'll get to this in Oscar travesty because it was The Apartment that swept. And Richard Burton.
Lawrence of Arabia. He's not in that, is he?
He's not in it. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? 70s, I gave myself 2 cheats here.
Of course you did.
Roy Scheider. Go on.
Is it because of The Godfathers?
Mostly. Roy Scheider.
I don't know.
All that jazz. Tim Curry.
Oh, Rocky.
Yeah.
Horror picture.
I want to see that movie. Jack Nicholson.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Al Pacino.
Godfather.
Part 2.
Part 2.
And then it's a kind of a cheat. William Holden and Peter Finch, same film.
Jaws.
Network. Neither of those.
70s movies.
Neither of those. We're into the 80s. Robert De Niro.
Oh, I know this one now. It's not Taxi Driver because it's Raging Bull. Oh no.
King of comedy.
Oh, we're coming to that.
Jack Nicholson.
Do it. Shining.
Correct. Dustin Hoffman.
Rain Man.
Tootsie. I think it's a better performance. 90s. Robert De Niro.
Meet the Fockers.
Cape Fear. I didn't know whether to allow myself to have people more than once. I think it could be a more varied list. However, also...
I mean, it's testament to the acting there, because De Niro's one of my favourite actors of all.
Yeah, De Niro's twice, Jack Nicholson's twice, Hoffman's twice. I think that's it. Yeah. 90s Robert De Niro.
90s Robert De Niro?
Yeah. Counselor. Cape Fear. Anthony Hopkins and Ted Levine.
I know that one. That's Silence of the Lambs.
Yes. Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Same film. Comedy. I could have also had from the same film Hank Azaria, who is excellent.
Oh, he's the Simpsons guy.
Gene Hackman, who is excellent in the film.
I don't know.
The Birdcage. Incredible film. One of my favourite comedies of all time. 2000s. Christian Bale.
The Dark Knight.
American Psycho. Think of it, one of my best performances of all time. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Will be Lincoln, because that's shite. It will be 2012.
There Will Be Blood. And Tom Cruise and Jason Robards in
Tropic Thunder.
Magnolia. The 2010s, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix in The Master. Casey Affleck in
Manchester by the Sea.
Yes.
I know that one because he's very good in it.
Oh, heartbreaking film. I just can't beat it. And Michael Keaton in
Birdman.
Birdman is correct.
Watched
Women.
First half of that last night.
Not just the first.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Oh, good.
I saw it all with me folks, and then it's come onto Netflix. So
what a great film.
That's an Oscar travesty.
Birdman. It is. Well, no, it's not. Oh, wait, his best actor is. Oh, my. Yeah. Don't. Do not get me started on anybody. Anybody could do that for 2 hours. I know he crooked his spine or whatever. Michael Keaton made you laugh, made you cry, made you feel. Anyway.
That's on Netflix as well. It's great. Wonderful.
Best female performance. 3 by the decade. I've given myself 6 cheats, apparently.
Of course you have.
Oh, what male performances do you think I'm missing?
Of the 50s or just ever?
Ever.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that was pretty excellent.
That's,
ignore that you've got the 3. Just which ones have I missed?
Hugh Grant in Paddington 2.
That's
pretty good.
That is pretty exceptional. Why? That's the biggest Oscar travesty.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
They didn't perform that live.
They didn't open the Oscars.
Listen to that radar. What an incredible. Oh, it talks funny enough. Go back to the 92 episode.
Billy Zane in Titanic.
Ooh, Billy Zane in Zoolander. Billy Zane. Billy Zane and everything. Shut it, Zane. So walk off. I think that I can be of some assistance. Let's dance. Different. That's not Billy Zane. That's David Bowie.
Yeah.
Disqualified. Excellent. Women. The 40s, Barbara Stanwyck, Double Indemnity. The 50s, Gloria Swanson. Sunset Boulevard. Kim Novak.
Vertigo.
Correct, yeah. Vivian Lee. Street Car Named Desire. 60s, Anne Bancroft.
Psycho.
The Graduate. She's Mrs. Robinson. Incredible. Elizabeth Taylor. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Well, this is getting shambolic now. Shirley MacLaine. The Apartment, Will. The 70s. Ellen Burstyn. The Exorcist, Will. Diane Keaton. Annie Hall, Will. Louise Fletcher. All of the Cuckoo's Nest, Will. Jenna Rowlands. It's a tie between Opening Night and A Woman Under the Influence, Will. The 80s. Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger. Terms of Endearment, Will. Isabella Rossellini. Blue Velvet, Will. Kathy Bates.
Misery.
Yeah, well done.
Hey.
Meg Ryan.
When Harry Met Sally.
Correct.
Look, you've got mail.
The 90s. Jodie Foster.
Silence. I'm back. He's back.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Batman Return.
Correct. Nicole Kidman.
Oh. What? I don't know.
What are these?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes, actually. 2 words. Sharon Stone.
Basic Instincts.
Casino. Oh, but I've changed that. That's a tie. Have you ever fucked on cocaine, Nick? Incredible.
Oh, that's the greatest sweat scene I've ever seen.
It's the greatest scene I've ever seen. The 2000s. Isabelle Huppert, the piano teacher. It's French, and you hate French people. Reese Witherspoon.
Legally Blonde.
Election. Julianne Moore. It's a tie between 2 films.
Oh, well, not that one.
Not one. Psycho.
No, Hannibal. I'm not doing.
No, it's not Hannibal. It's Magnolia and Boogie Nights. Give me some credit. I do love Hannibal. I don't think that it's one of the best performances ever. The 2010s, Cate Blanchett. It's a tie between 2 films.
I do not know.
One of them, your clue is lesbians. One of them, your clue is Woody Allen.
Oh, well, in that case, I won't know.
Blue Jasmine, Carol. Rooney Mara. Again, it's a tie. Your clue is lesbians, and your clue is bisexual Swedish adaptation. Go with the dragon tattoo. Carol again. It's got to be lesbian with somebody, Will. And Olivia Colman for
The Favourite.
Broadchurch season 2. No, yes.
Peep Show.
Yes.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Which actually, let's just go into it now. Let's do let's do Oscar travesty. As we mentioned a lot, it was The Apartment. Swept when my computer decides to not freeze on me. Come on, big boy. Ooh. Just called my computer big boy. And there we are. We're going to share. Right. Yes. Now, 1960, we have... What are you doing it on purpose or not?
Me?
Yes, you.
No, I'm just sat here waiting for the screen to load.
No, I mean
I'm not trying to psych you out.
I mean my pissing computer. Oh, shit on me.
The big boy.
There we are. Hello. It is hello, isn't it? You can see.
No, I can't actually. Now I can. Hey.
Trying to psych me out again. The Apartment, Best Picture. I mean, I'm not going to argue with any of the Apartment wins here. I have to say, sorry to ruin the fun. Yes, The Alamo. I haven't seen it. The Sundowners. I haven't seen it. Sons and Lovers. Oh, go on.
The producers. The producers named on that one.
Producers are always named for Best Picture.
They?
The producers are the ones who win Best Picture.
Oh.
Have you never known this?
Oh, that's why Weinstein has so many best. Oh, that's why. There you go.
That's why they always get. That's why it's always random people who go up to accept Best Picture, and then it varies. Sometimes it's like a producer who's like. That's why La La Land, Damien Chazelle doesn't speak. It's those 4 random bald men.
I want to give this to my friend in Moonlight.
Yeah,
the most
I'm
aggressive.
happy to share this with my friends at Moonlight. Yeah, Billy Wilder, Best Director, he should have won for most of the films he's ever done. Should have won for a lot. Jack Lemmon for The Apartment. Right, here we go. Okay, this is when it gets interesting. I love Burt Lancaster. I think that Jack Lemmon in The Apartment is a better performance. However, I also think that Anthony Perkins is the best performance of that year and he's not nominated. So what's happening there? Sort it out. Shirley for The Apartment should have won without a shadow of a doubt. It's on my list. Janet Leigh, Best Supporting Actress, was quite a surprising nomination for me. I didn't know that she was nominated. I'd give it to her. I think she does a pretty excellent job at bringing us into this world. Yeah. Best Supporting Actor. Maybe, yeah, I'd give Marty Balsam a nomination, I think.
Oh, Columbo has been nominated.
Peter Falk. Yeah. Did you?
I love Columbo.
Do you know the really depressing fact about the end of Peter Falk's life?
What?
He got dementia and he thought that he was Columbo.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sad. I mean,
really sad, isn't it?
It's kind of sad, but also living life is that must be quite a nice way.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I'm just trying to find some good out of.
Yeah. Ooh. I've never heard of Tunes of Glory, so let's give Psycho a nomination. Best Cinematography, black and white. Where is it? Oh well, let's do Best Music Score. Come on, it's one of the most iconic scores of all time.
Yeah. What
is happening? Best Art Direction, black and white. But, oh my god, I'm so rude.
There you go. There's got a nomination there.
It got nominated for cinematography as well. I actually think that is the best looking film of those. Again, I haven't seen Sons and Lovers, so perhaps Sons and Lovers wins.
Oh, I love classic film posters. They're great.
Oh yes, they're excellent.
As a creator of posters myself, I love them.
I think that'll be my thing when I become a famous director. I will make sure that the producers commission proper painted posters, like old-fashioned.
Well,
yeah. Get me on the job. Apart from all the times that you said that you would paint me a poster for my screenplays.
I do a very intense degree, Tom.
This is true. Will's favourite building. Tell us about your degree. Will's favourite building or set?
Oh, that's a nice little. Yeah.
It's an advertisement, yeah.
This is a tough one.
Is it tough? I think the motel / house is iconic and looks excellent.
The motel or the house, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do love that shot where she just sat in the window looking from the motel. That's a good one. But
it is just, yeah, the house just looks...
I think it's the house, because that's where the horror happens. That's like the epicenter.
The deep horror.
Yeah. And then they finally go to the basement. Whoa.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that basement scene, petrifying. The single light bulb, the rocking chair. Rocking chairs are great. Why don't people do rocking chairs anymore?
I've got 3 at home. I think you sat on one when you must have come. It's like it's a upholstered rocking chair, so it's a bit modern, but it's still from like the 50s. It's like mechanical.
I do love rocking chairs. If there was a rocking chair in your house when I went, I will have found it.
Oh no, I think you sat there most of the night. Yeah.
Oh yes, because I was infuriating there was somebody who didn't like me, and I was infuriating her.
Yes,
I just
it was sat there with your red wine on the rocking chair. A very something to do.
Yes, indeed. Alas, better times. Best soundtrack title.
Oh, thanks. Better times than my lovely party.
Well, it was The Company. Well,
not Michael, but I was going to say.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Psycho, Prelude, The City, Marion and Sam, Temptation, Flight, Patrol Car, The Car Lot, The Package, The Rainstorm, Hotel Room, The Window, The Parlour, The Madhouse, The People, The Bathroom, The Murder, The Body, The Office, The Curtain, The Water, The Car Lot Part 2. The Knife, The Search, The First Floor, Cabin Part 1, Cabin Part 2, The Hill, The Bedroom, The Toys, The Cellar, Discovery, Finale.
That's what it is. You sound just like John Cooper Clarke. One of his sort of poems.
It's a rent-a-car, baby. Trash it, bash it, do what you want. I'm at Mallorca. I'm trying. It's evidently Chicken Town. The cops like to bash you. The cops like to thrash you. Get thrashed, get bashed. Do what you want. Do what you want. Get in your stash. Get some cash. Have a lash. Have a slash. Do a pash. Your name's Gash. That's my John Cooper Clarke impression. It's a rent-a-car, baby. Best single minute. I'll start this time. It's the end. It's that final pull into Norman. Incredible. Why he wouldn't harm a fly, which I have the best one. The stare death. I mean, I really like the.
Oh, that's what's my change. That's what's my change.
All right, okay. You do have to give it a moment of. I presume you're talking about not the. I presume you're talking specifically about the falling down the stairs.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Because the rest is incredibly made. It's
yeah.
It is it's a very awkward shot. I don't know what it is. It's never effective.
It's a better falling down the stairs shot than in your short film. What is it called?
Baby Boy. Mummy's Boy is one of my 3-act plays. Okay. Okay, great. Now I'll have to sift through that.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll pop up now. The wonderful friend of both of us, Sam Mandagomi, who, falling down. And then Bryony Wilson at the top of the stairs. And then freeze frame on Bryony. And then I think I say something like, the shits hit the fan or something.
The peripheral shit is about to hit the very real fan.
Great stuff. Better days again. Best line. Oh, what's your single minute? I'd tell a
Thank you, Tom. I'm not sure. I was confused because obviously the ending, I mentioned it in my just favourite parts because I think I do love that the sort of the last half of the shower scene when she just the slow zoom and I love that. The whole, that's great.
Best line. It's sad when a mother has to speak the words that condemn her own son, but I couldn't allow them to believe that I would commit murder. They'll put him away now, as I should have years ago. He was always bad, and in the end he intended to tell them I killed those girls and that man, as if I could do anything but just sit and stare, like one of his stuffed birds. They know I can't move a finger, and I won't. I'll just sit here and be quiet, just in case they do suspect me. They're probably watching me. Well, let them see what kind of person I am. I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see, and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't harm a fly.
It's as if Norma Bates was still
with us. Do you go out with friends? Boy's best friend is his mother. It's not like my mother is a maniac or a raving thing. She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you? Yes. Sometimes one time can be enough. Brilliant stuff. I quote, maybe oddly, those two an awful lot. But a boy's best friend is his mother. Not talking about my own mother, but like if any time anybody's too close to their mother, I will go, my boy's best friend is always his mother. And any time anybody does anything crazy, I'll say, oh, we all go a little mad sometimes. Mother, oh God, mother, blood. Sometimes Saturday night is a lovely sound, lonely sound, shit. You ever notice that, Lila? Lila? Good name. Why aren't them all Lilas?
I'll be honest, Tom. I do not possess the answer to that question.
Damn it, I thought that was going to be in your research.
No, I tell you, no. I won't have you bringing some young girl in for supper by candlelight. I suppose in the cheap, erotic fashion of young men with cheap, erotic minds.
Mother, please.
And then what? After supper, music, whispers.
Mother, she's just a stranger. She's hungry and it's raining out.
Mother, she's just a stranger. As if men don't desire strangers. As if, oh, I refuse to speak of disgusting things because they disgust me. You understand, boy? Go on, go tell her she'll not be appeasing her ugly appetite with my food or my son. Or do I have to tell her because you don't have the guts, boy? You have the guts, boy.
People always mean well. They cluck their thick tongues and shake their heads and suggest, oh, so very delicate. Poetry. Delivered marvelously. Will you have any lines?
I like, oh, mother, she isn't quite herself today. That's it. That's great.
I any line referencing mother. And I think it's done very subtly, actually. If you didn't know the twist, you wouldn't guess. I don't think.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't. I like a son is a poor substitute for a lover. That's the good one. That's. Why don't look as if you're reminiscing there. That was...
I'm not reminiscing. We'll get to this now, I guess. I feel really sorry for Norman.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I know he's a murderer, but also I feel very sorry. And I think this bleeds a lot into Psycho 2, actually, which we'll get to. But basically, it's not a spoiler. It opens with, it's obviously 22 years later, and he's been cured. He's all right. And but suddenly all these notes start appearing from mother and people start calling. And he's the plot of Psycho 2 is Norman trying as hard as he possibly can to not become the psycho that he was made to be.
After 22 years, Norman Bates is home. They say he's all right. Psycho 2. The mystery continues. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
I think it's Norman Bates, Annie Wilkes, and Alex Forrest, Misery and Fatal Attraction, are the three villains that I feel sympathy for. Misery's a tough one because by the time that you can't eat it, and that scene, you're like, oh, okay, she's gone. I get her.
Yeah.
But the dinner scene where he puts and she knocked. I feel I could cry. It's so. I'm gonna put my Liberace records on. And
she just loves his books.
When she comes in with the gun and she goes, maybe I'll put some bullets in it. It's enough to break your heart. Poor Annie. Poor Annie Wilkes. Maybe she shouldn't have killed those kids. Same with Alex Forrest. I mean, obviously as the film goes on, she gets psychotic and kills bunnies and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's there in the script. I won't be ignored, Dan. It starts off, he's shagged her, he's pregnated her. I mean, it wasn't, she was fully into it. And I think fair enough, I don't think, watching it again, you can sort of be on Michael Douglas's side that it was propositioned as a bit of fun. It really was. This isn't some crazy affair. Anyway, we'll get to that eventually in Fatal Attraction. I've lost where I am, Will. Is it What's the Change?
What's the change?
What's the change? You start. You've talked a little bit already.
It's just that shot. Well, when he's running up to the top, Norman comes out dressed as Norma and he's it's just, that's great. And then you see, obviously, he's just standing in front of a green screen going, and it's, I mean, when Rear Window came out before, way before.
Yeah. 54.
Yeah, I think I'm just disappointed in Hitchcock, really. To say he's very, very well technically accomplished, he could have done a falling down the stairs scene very easily.
Yeah. It's weird, because obviously he's got quite a breadth of films, but I think we've really pinpointed a 10-year slot, because we started with Strange on a we started with... Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we've only done films in the 10 years between Strangers on a Train and Psycho.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we were going to slot another one in, it would probably be Rebecca from the 40s. The only film he won... no, he didn't win Best Director. I tell a lie. It's the only Hitchcock film to win Best Picture.
Oh, that's sad. That's very sad.
He did get an honorary award.
Yeah.
The music sting, I think it's because of it's become too iconic and everything, but every time I hear it now, it does lose its effect in the film. And
it's probably because it's overused. It's overused.
And
I think it should just be used once in that shower scene.
Yeah. Well, no, this is my thing. I don't think it is overused actually in the film. I think it's because it's overused in the past 60 years. We've heard it so much that it's overused in pop culture. I think, that if people just ignored it, which obviously they're not going to, it's an iconic piece of music, iconic piece of film, then I don't think it would affect us as much. Anything left from your notes?
Yes, I've written down. I love whenever Hitchcock uses his daughter in films, and especially when she's like, "Oh, I think he was flirting with you, but I think he noticed my wedding ring." That's Hitchcock basically saying, "My daughter's very ugly, and you want to be paying attention to this woman."
I mean, Yeah, Janet Leigh. I'm going to pick Janet Leigh over.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with Patricia Hitchcock.
Hitchcock. You know, if it was a decision, I don't know. Anything else?
That is it.
Obviously, we can talk about Jamie Lee Curtis, the daughter of Janet Leigh, and Tony Curtis, who came to fame in the 1978 film Halloween, which was, in a way, the next influential slasher film after this. It obviously sparked what we now know as the slasher film. Do you know the other link between Halloween and Psycho, Will?
Oh, I do not.
The character of Dr. Sam Loomis. For some reason, they're both called Sam Loomis. I mean, it's not for some reason, it's a direct reference to Psycho. Sam Loomis, the boyfriend, and then Donald Pleasance, the man tracking down Michael Myers. I shot him 5 times, is called Dr. Sam Loomis. Psycho 2, we've already talked about it a little bit. I highly recommend anybody to watch Psycho 2.
Yeah.
Great film. We can't neglect that this is black and white by choice. This point, well, The Apartment was the last black and white film to win Best Picture until which film, Will?
The Artist?
Schindler's List.
Oh,
Schindler's
I do
List.
apologise.
It's all right.
Completely forgot about Schindler's List.
Don't apologise to me. The the voiceover is wonderfully effective. Great little.
Yeah.
She has that smile. For me, watching it now, it feels so epically modern that I don't understand why they wanted to do a remake. I wasn't able to do the remake. Watch the remake. You watched. How far did you get?
Oh, I got to get into the motel, so I didn't see much of Vince Vaughn. Yeah. But maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's famously shot for shot.
I think it was.
Sant.
I'm not sure if it was meant to be. I think it was more of a project.
Yeah.
Just to. Let's see if we can accurately. I mean, it's incredibly accurate to say of all the shot for shot remakes you get, they do it very well.
Gus Van Sant famously commented, and we don't know whether this was a bit of backtracking or not, but he said, I wanted to make it so that nobody else could. So maybe he wanted to be like, remakes are terrible, I'm going to make the worst remake ever. And then
so no one ever tries to attempt to remake Psycho?
Maybe, I don't think it was just Psycho. I think he was saying this is how bad remakes are, but also, but also like it's got a great cast. It's got an incredible cast. It's got Julianne Moore, William H. Macy, Philip Baker Hall, Vince Vaughn's great in other things. From what I've seen, he doesn't seem to be as bad as everybody makes out.
No, I think it's just because it's that guy from Wedding Crashers. But no, you don't really see him do straight often. And when he does do straight, I mean, he just plays Vince Vaughn in everything, doesn't he? He's like him and Owen Wilson. They just
you motor-boated son of a bitch, you. I was married for 3 years. I was faithful for 2 of them. Oh no, sorry, we've been married 20 years. Been faithful for 3 of them. Great film, Wedding Crashers. Very different.
I love it.
Very different from Fucko. Also from my notes, this is the first film ever, Will, to show what?
A flushing toilet.
A flushing toilet.
Hey.
Yes. Can you not flush a toilet?
I'm going to sing Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd or Rebecca G. Then. And don't forget all the trouble we got into.
Why does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit?
What do you mean?
Well, it was fucking one of yous. Disgusting!
Yes. Anthony Perkins, do you know who Anthony Perkins' good friend was?
Oh, let's have a think. Richard Burton.
They used to do murder mystery nights where they'd set up clues and throw parties with all these famous Broadway stars?
I don't know.
Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yes, and they used to throw these murder mystery nights, and one of them, Lee Remick, sorry, The Omen, the Follies concert,
great.
And they failed the mystery because she ate one of the cupcakes on arrival because she thought it was a snack, and they all had letters on them, which were spelling out the first clue. Incredible. If I could be one place in time, I would want to be at one of Anthony Perkins and Stephen Sondheim's murder mystery nights. It's just incredible. And they actually ended up writing a script called The Last of Sheila. But it's one of those where it's like, you know, out of print. I'm waiting for somebody to do a really nice Blu-ray. They will do eventually. Somebody will do it.
Not Studio 54? I probably want to go to Studio 54.
Oh, yeah. But this is the early 70s, so we'd do a murder mystery night and then we'd go to Studio 54.
Afterwards.
For Dolly Parton's birthday party where they got a bunch of wild horses and sheep in there shitting everywhere. Putting bags of money in the roof because they had too much money on hand. Just bowls of Coke. Better times. Tom's Book Corner. It is based on a book.
Yes.
I didn't get to read it. Do you know some of the big changes?
I should do because of the movie Hitchcock, because it's based around that, isn't it? So, I mean, we should talk about it.
He was called Mary. She's called Mary Crane.
That's a big change.
Yeah, she gets beheaded.
Oh no, you can't do that on the films.
It follows Norman an awful lot more. The invention of, not the invention of Marion Crane, but the whole concept of her being such a lead was not in the book. Also, Norman is not an Anthony Perkins type. It's much like Ed Gein, who the book was based on. It's a balding, fat, schlubby guy who you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, he probably would kill people and make suits. Yeah, because Ed Gein was the influence for 3 different films. Do you know them?
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Alternate ending corner, we don't really have one. A few fun facts. It's time for a few fun facts. When the cast and crew began work on the first day, they had to raise their right hands and promise not to divulge one word of the story. Hitchcock also withheld the ending part of the script from his cast until he needed to shoot it, pardon me. Alfred Hitchcock was so pleased with the score written by Bernard Herrmann that he doubled the composer's salary to $34,501.
Oh, that was a lot.
Hitchcock later said 33% of the effect of Psycho was due to the music. Walt Disney refused to allow Hitchcock to film at Disney World in the early 1960s because Hitchcock had made that disgusting movie Psycho. On set, Alfred Hitchcock would always refer to Anthony Perkins as Master Bates. Oh, you dirty bastard. Alfred Hitchcock bought the rights to the novel anonymously for only $9,000. He then bought up as many copies of the novel as he could to keep the ending a secret. Although Janet Leigh was not bothered by the filming of the famous Showershine, seeing it on film profoundly moved her. She later remarked that it made her realise how vulnerable a woman was in a shower. At the end of her life, she always took baths.
This sounds like a lot like you. You went through your terrified of shower phase, didn't you? Because you had a Psycho shower.
What?
Sure. Was it? You were saying you couldn't shower for a long time after watching Psycho.
No, at the old house, we had a shower that had one of those screen doors where you can't see through. I wasn't scared of showers. I wasn't scared of showers. I just, no. I wasn't scared.
Wasn't it Hitchcock's hand holding the... Or is that just in the movie?
No, it's a few times, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shots there. After the movie's release, Sir Alfred Hitchcock received an angry letter from the father of a girl who refused to have a bath after seeing the wonderful French film Les Diaboliques, which has a famous bath scene, and now refused to shower after seeing this movie. Hitchcock sent a note back simply replying, "Send her to the dry cleaners." Ed Gein. What's special about the score, Will?
Dun, 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 dun. What? Oh, give me a clue. Is it something musically?
It's all string instruments.
Oh.
Like Eleanor Rigby. Every theatre that showed this movie had a cardboard cutout installed in the lobby of Sir Alfred Hitchcock pointing to his wristwatch with a note saying, "The manager of this theatre has been instructed at the risk of his life not to admit to the theatre any persons after the picture starts. Any spurious attempts to enter by side doors, fire escapes, or ventilating shafts will be met by force. The entire objective of this extraordinary policy, of course, is to help you enjoy Psycho more." Good policy, they should do it more often. Janet Leigh received threatening letters after this movie's release, detailing what they would like to do to Marion Crane. One was so grotesque that she passed it on to the FBI. The culprits were discovered, and the FBI said that she should notify them straight away if she received any more letters. There's some bad people in there.
Yeah.
While writing the screenplay, Joseph Stefano was in therapy dealing with his relationship with his own mother. According to biographers, Sir Alfred Hitchcock had a troubled relationship with his own domineering mother, who, like Mrs. Bates, forced him to stand at the foot of her bed and tell her everything that had happened to him. Although the real relationship was not as disturbed as the movie, I would hope so. Marty Balsam plays the heroic and tragic private investigator Milton Arbogast in this movie. Norman Bates, the second victim in the film. Martin Balsam also played a serial killer on The Twilight Zone, Season 4, Episode 13, The New Exhibit, and it's a great episode. He played a museum employee who takes home and is made to take care of wax figures of a variety of serial killers throughout history, including Jack the Ripper. The character turns out to be a serial killer by the episode's end, and he talks to the other wax figures in the episode, much like Norman does in the movie.
Oh, I like that. Twilight Zone.
Well, the shot of the knife appearing to enter Marion's abdomen was achieved by pressing it against her body so to dent the skin, withdrawing it rapidly, and then playing the shot backwards.
Like Pulp Fiction.
Which one?
The injection. That was shot backwards. Because that's a good scene.
It's a good scene. It's a great film. These are incredible films. Closing line, Hall of Fame. Why She Wouldn't Harm a Fly. It's an excellent closing line. It's probably one of my favourites. One of my sneaky.
Yeah, that's up there.
Synopsis of a sequel. Well, we've got one, and it's excellent in Psycho 2. Tom's big question.
Ooh.
Is Anthony Perkins in this the best performance in an Alfred Hitchcock film?
Yes.
Again, we've been doing this a lot, actually, with Hitchcock movies. Do you prefer the first half of this film or the second half?
The second half, because there's more Norman Bates.
Yeah, that's true. I love when he's with this candy. I love his candy. Not Robbie Williams' candy. Right, and that thus concludes our month.
What? Series 2? Is that?
Yeah, no, that's Series 2 as well. Thus concludes Series 2. Thus concludes our month of Hitchcock. Will, do you have any? I don't know. Anything to say?
I've got nothing.
I've got nothing. We've got some great films coming up. Casino Royale, Superbad, Goodfellas, Terms of Endearment, and our next specialised fortnight is Meryl Mania. we've got some great films coming up there, as well as the final 2 episodes of our Inside Number 9 retrospectives, season 4 and season 5.
Very exciting.
Naturally, very exciting. And then we're going to, marvelous stuff. And we're just going to keep on going forward.
Until somebody stops us.
Somebody stops us. Well, I won't allow it. I've been Thomas Carruthers.
Tom, I've been Will Leggetter.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's very weird. And I found a lovely commercial where Anthony Perkins plays Norman Bates and he's talking about cereal. So that's how we're going to end it. Bye-bye.
I always do what Mother tells me, but I never could eat oatmeal until I found oatmeal Raisin Crisp. Now this is oatmeal made my way. Crispy flakes with oatmeal, a bit of brown sugar, and loaded with raisins and almonds. Oatmeal Raisin Crisp. It's scary how good it tastes.
Oatmeal Crisp, Oatmeal Raisin Crisp.
Look, Mother, I'm eating my oatmeal.
Now that's a good boy.
Da ba da ba da ba da da.